in this room.
All right, yeah, we're live again.
So we're live again. Look at this.
Yeah.
So we call it this a bonus round. Anybody that is our age group know the Konami code? Up, down,
Down, left, right, B, A, C.
Select start. That's one player. Select start if it's two players.
Yeah.
So this is bonus round. Contra, bonus lives. I was more into Super C than the first contract, but
first Contra was but.
So you were second player or first player?
First player.
First player. That was one of my brother.
Blue.
I to this day I have to play red because I would get confused if I am playing first player and wearing the blue pants. I need to keep looking at the red pants anyway. So I'm gonna get shot.
I have to play blue. I have to play the blue player.
Can't help it. Yeah, so that's you and bird. So you guys can't play Contra together because of that. You know, because we're talking about video games and this is a bonus. I have my new Nintendo Switch and I was able to they have the NES Classic stuff you can play. So this is Super Mario Brothers 3, all of them. And they put out Double Dragon 2 last week, 2 weeks ago. There's a nice little catch though with the NES Classic version. You can actually rewind the game, so you can pause and then rewind and then play again. So you might die, get shot with a bullet, you rewind. So it's the first time in my entire life that I've beaten Double Dragon 2.
Yeah, you get teeth. And it's
unlimited rewind.
My God.
Unlimited rewind.
But still.
I pause, I go to sleep. Wake up in the morning.
But still.
Unpause, depause, whatever the word is. I actually don't know what the word is.
It's unpause.
It's unpause. You know I used to say depause.
Depause.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's
man. So now I played Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Yo, but I mentioned that teeth in the game, man. You know about the other day about the they have the classic, the little
Nintendo Classic.
Yeah, the little Nintendo Classic. I have the controls and bought it. I'm playing that now, and Mike Tyson in the teeth. Then
teeth no.
I'm still a custom words, some very choice words.
King Hippo is the funniest.
Oh God, man, punch man. Yo.
So I have the Super NES Classic. So we have the boys playing Street Fighter 2 Turbo now.
This is the thing about it that you keep on mentioning to people because playing up even when like at the studio I was writing songs and stuff. Sometimes I care about my PlayStation. I'm playing games while I write because for me it's like mine going this way, but in my ears you hear the
music.
So for me it's always good to. It's weird because it carries me to a different world at the same time, but it brings up more energy and more vibe for me in terms of sometimes writing. You know what I mean? Where I'm focused on more on one things at once. It's a different way of writing.
So since we're getting into more of the nerd side of I need people to know, like for example. One anime you've been watching recently. Yeah. Because we are both animated. So I used to watch Naruto and Bleach all the time.
Yeah, I used to watch Naruto and Bleach. What I watch now? No, as before I was mentioning One Punch Man and Castlevania and back here on Netflix. But I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing because funny enough for me, especially when I'm once again writing music, you get inspiration from even some of these different things. Like I remember once even Inuyasha buying the Inuyasha CD and getting inspiration to write different kinds of music because even the gallery that is Indian sounding stuff because I listen to a lot of like Buddha Bar and all the different kinds of African sounding music and music yani instrumental type stuff that have absolutely nothing to do with dancehall because it just goes straight once again music.
When you're a creative person,
music
it's a language.
You can't limit yourself. Listen to classical music, listen to but whatever kind of music you find.
So then we're going to the other thing that we nerds will talk about. So I am a Marvel guy. You're a DC guy.
I like both.
Okay, fine. I like both, but
I like both, even though I'm more.
Well, it's one thing you always hear. If anybody Google it, they're going to say one superhero.
Superman.
Superman.
The max of the big S. Yeah, because I mean, come on, Jim and the S on the chest, and yeah, I like the Superman, and yeah, but. I rate Marvel too. The thing is with me, I always believe competition is good. And I do believe that DC has gotten a bad rap. Justice League was a great movie. You understand?
Mind you, cheese and please don't hit us with any negative comments. You're just entitled to his opinion.
Justice League was a good movie. I just feel that a bad rap. The only thing I do feel about DC is that them rush the whole progression.
Alright, so I think, rush it. I think the entire internet going to at least agree with that one.
Yeah,
they rush trying to catch up with
trying to catch up with Marvel. You can't just jump and have Justice League just after maybe 1 and 2 individual appearances.
I enjoy Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman.
And Wonder Woman is better than Captain Marvel.
I agree with that too.
Wonder Woman
was better
than Captain Marvel.
Female standalone superhero movie than Captain
Marvel.
And a lot of people get crucified for this, and I'm
let's hear this one.
This one.
Don't talk about Green Lantern, No,
I'm not about Green Lantern. But talk about this issue with Marvel.
Oh,
Hulk I believe, got a very bad rap in Avengers, and I am pissed. Hulk got a...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no, not just in general. Hulk got a bad rap. Even before
Endgame.
Thor beat him. Thanos beat him in the first one. You understand? So Hulk is supposed to be one of the strongest heroes in the Marvel universe, and there's no way
Hulk is overpowered and they had to depower him for this world, just like Superman is overpowered in the comics.
It is bull because there's no way even them say Hulk, they make it seem as if Captain Marvel is now the strongest superhero in the Marvel.
Well, thankfully we know this she wasn't.
No.
Right, fair enough.
No, but Hulk is stronger than her. You know that, right?
In the comics, yes.
Yes. So the key thing is to recreate the comic. You can't have one thing in the comic and then one thing on the screen.
Death is not in Avengers. In the whole Infinity Gauntlet saga. So we don't see no Celestials like we have to I think literally these are discussions Alex and I will have at his apartment.
It's just different. But I mean I said before, this is just me using that style, but yeah.
Man, it's been fun, but he's saying he's really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun guys.
Man, I mean this thing is going to be fun. So again now, Alex, you're going to. Yeah, man. We're going to say one more thing and then we'll let Kyle come in and say a few words. But you were our first artist investor. We raised money from some athletes of color in the US, some Jamaican, MLS, European players, NBA. When we told you what we were doing with Blue Mohawk Capital Partners, you were the first one from an artist from that industry to write a check. Why? Most people think of athletes and artists as the people that squander their money, they're here for the bling lifestyle. What made you say not to play against support?
Well, I mean, apart from the fact that we're friends, you understand, the split up, apart, I believe in what you're doing. I believe in you. I believe in what, you and I have had a great relationship over the years and stuff. And I think it's once again important to support each other. You know what I mean? You always talk about as a diaspora, you're giving back and support. So if you are supporting one way, why you can't support the other way? It makes sense. And you're my friend. I believe it. And even as your friend, if you're doing something that I didn't believe in and it was garbage, I tell you.
Yeah, you would tell me.
And I wouldn't support it.
Mince words.
I wouldn't mince words, yes. And as an Aquarian, talking them.
I'm a Capricorn.
I'm blunt like that. But I do believe in what you're doing. And I do believe that it has great potential. And I believe fast forward a couple of years from now, we'll probably be sitting here laughing about this.
Yep.
I have no doubt about that. So I have to support him. Definitely. You all should support him as well too.
Alright, no, I appreciate that. Alright, well, we're going to let Alex depart.
Yeah, man.
And I'm going to bring in Kyle, who's our Chief Creative Officer for Real Vibes. But I appreciate your support. And as a shareholder, as a brethren, a close friend, that somebody that can come and visits my house and check on that separate from me. You actually will talk to that separate from me. You talk to Catherine separate from me. That, for me, that's close. In that small group of less than 10 people.
Family, man. My circle's small too, so I understand.
I appreciate that, Alex. Alright, boss. Respect.
Kyle, your turn.
So we're going to bring in Kyle. I need to give him a little bit of time on this because
tomorrow.
Yeah, man. He's literally bringing the production equipment so he can look at the.
He can look at himself while he's on there.
So that's kind of cool that we can actually see ourselves.
So why you never have that from before, Kyle? When I was
no, because he's doing his cuts.
Yeah, I'm put in between.
This is the behind the scenes.
So now I have to put it on.
Worse, man. No one sees even need to fix my shirt or fix my cap.
You know, I'm the producer. Go and sit down and be quiet.
Alright, and you're ready. Take a big spot and action.
I tell you, Alex is funny, man. So for me, Kyle, this is Kaiel Eytle. Kyle is Ghanaian and Jamaica.
Yes.
Correct? Yes.
Born in Ghana, grew up here.
Grew up in Jamaica, went to the same high school again. So Kyle is a few years below me. Same thing, Campion. Alex was ahead of me. Kyle, nice little, you were like 2 years, 3 years below me?
Oh my god, when did you leave?
I left in 96 from before.
Oh no, yeah, then you left as
he was coming in. So we didn't even know each other in high school. We knew each other because of our website, Idlers Lounge.
Yeah, it all began with a great domain.
Great domain, idlerslounge.com. Big up Gavin, Dotty X, Dotty Bookman.
Yeah.
That really brought us together. And you had gone to Full Sail University in Orlando.
Yeah.
Which, for those who don't know what Full Sail is, what is Full Sail?
Yeah, so Full Sail is, they started out as an audio production school in the back of a trailer, and they eventually developed into one of the leading technical production universities, I think, in the world. You know, they offer world-class training in everything from, audio production, film production. Right now they've moved into a lot of sports broadcasting, and they've just built a massive esports facility on campus.
And so you had us come there. You started, we were one of the few people you knew in Orlando, my wife and I. So you'd come visit us, we'd cook Jamaican food for you. You'd go buy roti and doubles. And you had us tour the campus so many times. And I was blown away. This is 70 plus Academy Awards, 80 plus Grammys. I mean, just amount of the quality of people that have come through Full Sail. And you went there to become a director of photography. It was the main focus, but you had to do everything.
Yeah,
right?
So they teach us how to do everything. I actually, when I started looking at schools, I was actually in stage production, like live set design, that kind of thing. And then I just decided, let me move into film to kind of expand my employment options, because, the kind of thing where, you're going to make money from this creative art stuff. And then my stage skills lent itself to being a director of photography, and then everything just kind of snowballed from there.
No, and so I'd ask you, I remember I asked you, what do you want to do when you graduate? And he said you wanted to create films. You wanted to create films with Caribbean stories, tell it to the world, and eventually do a film out. And so we agreed to have Real Vibes. We still own the company. We didn't do the website anymore, and we created Real Vibes Studios with you as the chief creative officer.
Yeah, I remember going through them trying to come up with a cool name. Went through so many iterations, and then it became, this pun on film reels, and the actual name of the group and so on.
Right. So we created a subsidiary in Jamaica. The subsidiary of Real Vibes, the group in Florida, is now Real Vibes Studios Limited. You're the chief creative officer. You've worked on a few projects. One of them actually was through the JAFTA Propeller program.
Right, so that's actually coming out this month. It should have gone up last weekend, but I had some technical issues. Internet out here sometimes just doesn't want to behave. But yeah, so through the Propeller program, I did my first short film as a director. Normally, I am, the next guy down on the chain, doing the pictures, but not, directing the actors and stuff like that.
And what is the JAFTA Propeller program for those of us in the diaspora?
Okay, so the JAFTA Propeller program is a developmental program for, I'm going to say storytellers, because it's not necessarily just writers or just directors, but storytellers that want to move into film and television production. And it's there, we've designed it to increase the skill set. So it's not just giving people money to make their movie, but we're also doing training workshops. We're doing market training, so we actually go out to film festivals, take our films, we send them out, we develop a festival strategy, and we're looking to expand on those areas going forward.
So, and how your budget is roughly like about 3 million Jamaican per year is what they give out for the filmmakers?
We've been working with the Chase Fund, and the program, the budget, each film is budgeted at about $500,000 Jamaican dollars, give or take.
Right. And that's like 4,500 US, somewhere in that range.
It's not a lot of
Less
money
than
in the scope
$5,000
of things, but when you're a filmmaker and you have a vision and you have the chance, it's not coming out of your food. You're not starving yourself to make it. Even though some of us will put in that extra to get our films made, even with the money. We want to take it off that little bit extra. So the Propeller gives us that opportunity, and we try to maximize the money as best we can.
So how do we in the diaspora support something like the JAFTA Propeller program, or just Jamaica's Film Commission in general and that creative industry?
So what we're trying to do now is to expand Jamaica's market presence. So we're going out to more film festivals. We're actually structuring a funding, a way to fund JAFTA Propeller going forward, that we can accept donations and that people can contribute to. But I think the biggest thing is that when you see our products out there, is to share them with your community, share them with your network in the US and stuff, because the more attention we can get, and it's not just Jamaicans we're talking, there are people out there that are interested in our culture that aren't Jamaican.
Yep, Africa especially.
Yeah, and we want to share our message and our product with the world, and that is the most important thing, because we can't be up there all the time, we can't be in those communities day in, day out. But if we have an active diaspora community that's sharing our work, even if it's just a retweet on social media, it makes a world of difference. When we not just make the first one that you see, but then when we go to make the second one, we can point and say, hey, people out there want to see our work.
No, so I'm really glad to hear that, because this one is obviously near and dear to my heart. I literally, I'm the chairman of Real Vibe Studios. I have skin in this game. We put money into this. I remember the first film we worked on together. We have the second part to shoot. We did the first part was Cowboy in Bacchanal, Jamaica. And in Bacchanal, we brought down a white American, Troy Castaneda, to experience Carnival for the first time. We'll now go back next year and film a second piece to show how it has scaled over the last 5 years, which is again creative arts, and it's something we don't seem to realize just how big.
Yeah, just film. If you just take film alone as an industry, motion picture entertainment, it's a $96 billion worldwide industry, and we are only looking to take a small microscopic slice of that to really establish ourselves. It's an industry that in the next 3 years is probably going to pass 100 billion. And it's not just the movies themselves, but it feeds other industries. You have video game adaptations. Music is a big part of our movies. Soundtracks sometimes make an unprofitable movie profitable. So it really is. All the creative industries are really interconnected. So I think it's great that we can then, if we can find success in the Jamaican film industry, we can combine it with like music and be able to then springboard and support other aspects of our fashion and our other visual arts and stuff like that.
So one of the things that I've seen, because everybody looks at me from the investment side, Blue Capital Partners, things I've done in the past, working in private equity, hedge funds, and venture early stage, they tend to come to me to ask for money or ask for help on raising capital. I have my own opinions of why I don't think we've seen funding for the creative industries for like a film and so on, but I want to hear from you first. What do you feel needs to change, or what needs to happen to provide more of that actual funding?
Well, in terms of us getting access to film, I definitely think we need more business minds within the industry. People that are able to take a look at the market, looking at the market side of things and not necessarily just the creative side, to find out what segments we can position our products in, and be looking and analyzing and being able to pick products that that can prove the business model for us. Because that's it, with Real Vibes, we kind of took a little pause from our original strategy, took a chance to listen to the industry and be around for the formation of JAFTA and stuff like that. And now we've come back to re-strategize and to find, okay, now we have a business model, we have the data, we have the information. And then the other side to that then is making sure increasing the skill set out here. Because to ensure that our writers are high quality, ensure that our directors of photography, our directors are getting the experience. And this is where Propeller and those developmental programs come in. Because it's not just, we can produce one good movie, but we need to be able to produce things with consistency over time.
Yep. And that's also something that you had brought to me when you talked about us building a film lot out here. And we obviously looked at Goodyear. Everybody knows about how that went, and we can do it somewhere else, preferably still here in Jamaica. We're looking at some options. But you always had shown me that it was never about just having a film lot, sound stages, which is a big empty warehouse. It was adding on the school side of it and having people actually get to train and learn.
Right. The training is going to be a big part of what we do going forward. I do a lot of work with the UWI Community Film Project, where we teach skill sets to people from at-risk communities. And I want, the goal is to then expand it, because, as great as it is to have a lot of directors and a lot of writers and stuff, movies get made by the people, I almost said guys, but the people that are rigging lights, the people that are recording audio on set, the people that are building a track out for your camera to roll on. These people are the heartbeat of the industry in the US, and some of the greatest people I've ever worked with on set. These guys work day in, day out, all year. As a director or a director of photography, you might be struggling to get work. But we need to, fill out that thing so that we can have multiple productions running at the same time. We don't want, right now, our industry, if we have too many big productions happening at the same time, something is going to suffer.
Right.
And we don't want that. We want to be able to shoot James Bond at the same time that we're shooting Digicel campaign and a KFC campaign and my movie and their movie, you know,
Right.
and stuff like that. So we need to just grow these skill sets, and then these people will, you know, and then there's just going to always be a channel of new talent. People aren't going to want to stay at the same level. Some people will find, and we want people to be able to find careers if they feel comfortable being a key group, you know, or a PA. And we also want them to be able to, if they feel that they are ready to move to like directing or writing or something like that, then they should have that career path. So it's a, you know, it's a multi-pronged thing that needs to happen in Jamaica.
No, well, I appreciate your time. I'm going to wrap up and give like a closing thing. And
yes.
I'm sure we're going
So
to have
I'm
you
gonna
back
point the
again.
camera at you now.
Point the camera,
Yeah.
you know, he's
Yeah.
going to actually do it right
I'm
now.
gonna- We're doing it live.
He's pointing, he's doing it live
So
beside you.
there
That's
you
funny.
go.
I like that. That's,
All right.
that's kind of wild.
Alright, so now you can
So, this is the first one. Obviously, it wasn't 30 minutes. This is too much fun, and I think we're going to have to keep it longer than 30 minutes going forward. I really, really want to thank, you know, Alistair McCullough, Alex, from T.O.K. for being willing to be my first guest and show his actual personality that I am exposed to, my family is exposed to on a regular basis. And I hope he gave you some good food for thought.
No problem, Agent.
Yeah. I want to thank Kyle for not only being on the show, but you know, and being a really good friend, but teaching me about film and the wider creative industries, and for actually managing the technical setup of what we're doing right here, and for running Real Vibe Studios. He's the one on the ground and hasn't even running the company, renting out the equipment that we have, cameras, lights, lenses, updating me, and going from there. But the message I want to leave you with, and Kyle really hit the nail on the head, and you know, relay back of what Alex was saying about our culture. We just turned 57, we're going into 58 years as Jamaica. And I've said this before. I remember I spoke at the UWE Leach program the year after Michael Leachin spoke. They asked me to be the keynote speaker. And I started with a few different pictures. And I showed, for example, a Chinese man standing in front of a tank. And this was the tank man photo. You can Google it. It was Google Tank Man, Tiananmen Square. Those people were marching, and they were singing one song, and they were singing Get Up, Stand Up. Right? We talk about in Rhodesia, which became Zimbabwe, they were singing Bob Marley songs in the bush. South Africa, they would actually slice up Bob Marley records before it would come in. Customs would use a razor blade and slice it up so that you couldn't listen to your songs properly on the radio because people were using it to talk about freedom. Jamaica has one of the oldest golf courses in the Western Hemisphere. Manchester Golf Club opened before the golf course that opened in Canada. Jamaica has the first post office in the British colonial hemisphere, in the Western Hemisphere, right? Before the United States had a post office. You can go on the Jamaica Post Office website and they talk about that. We have had very special things. When we think about Black River and lighting, but Falmouth had pipe water before New York City. Before New York City. Scotiabank was in Halifax, came to Jamaica, and then went to Toronto. Jamaica. Port Royal and Boston in the 1600s were the two richest cities in the Western Hemisphere. Boston and Port Royal. We have to talk about Jamaica and what we've done, right? Kyle brought up James Bond. Bond 25 is being shot in Jamaica. Ian Fleming wrote basically all his books here. His house, obviously we know his name, GoldenEye. That's the name of the film that Pierce Brosnan started his Bond career in. That's right here. Dr. No, the first James Bond film, was shot here. Or we talk about Blue Mountain Coffee. I shouldn't have to tell you about that. We're proud of that. Our peppers that people want to buy in Japan and China, that is us again. We have had an outsized impact. We punch above our weight. Jamaica has the most sub 10-second runs in the 100 meters for men, most of them held by Asafa Powell. And look how we treat Asafa right now. Remember that we need to recognize that we need to big up the people that put us on the map. We need to support them, regardless of whether they're still running or doing it or doing the arts. But these are people that have made us as Jamaicans proud wherever they go in the world. If you just go and research about our history and our impact on this world, 20% of the sugar from the British colonies came from Jamaica when the UK controlled us, right? We have done some amazing things. We need to humble ourselves sometimes and look at other places, whether it's Singapore or Costa Rica. We can learn their best practices elsewhere. We can benchmark. Jamaica really should be the Singapore of the West. Jamaica should not be where we are today, and we need to do our part think about our pledge. We need to do our part, right? You pledge my heart, creativity, strength, all these things, because we want Jamaica to play its part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. So that's the message I'm going to leave with you today. Looking forward to next week. And that's Alex taking us out.